through the 7-game. Actually, I believe it's what is it, the 7 or the 8-game main slate? It's the 8-game main. No, it is the 7-game main slate. Yeah, just gonna go through quickly, talk through each game. I'll have more live at 6 Eastern time. Reminder: the slate locks at 6:40. So keep that in mind. We'll just go through real quickly what I like and what, talk through some of the possibilities of what we can stack and what we can pitch, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so 7 gamers. Look, this is a good stacking slate because there's a lot of good offenses tonight. But in general, with the 7-game slate, I'm going to say like you have, you can mix up your and you still could mix up your, stack sizes. I think doing some more 4-3-1s, 4-2-2s, 4-4s, that makes a little more sense on the smaller slates. As I always point out, just wanted to start off with that. And getting into the first game, Arizona, Cincinnati, no interest in either of the pitchers here. Definitely have interest in the stacks. This game has a little bit of weather concerns, but I think Arizona and Cincinnati are both very, very interesting here. And Arizona is a little more popular, and I have the slight edge to Cincinnati, but I think they're both really, really reasonable stacks, and certainly ones I wouldn't mind getting exposure to on this main slate tonight. I definitely like both of them, and yeah, you get to play in Cincinnati. It's always great. All right, Baltimore, Washington. Again, Bradish is definitely on the list of pitchers. I don't know where he's going to end up for the end of the day. We know Washington don't strike out a lot, don't have a lot of power, so you have to sort of find your balance. I love Baltimore today. I currently have them as my top stack. I don't know if I'm going to use them the most because they're going to have some ownership, and they're expensive. But I do really like the stack today. I want to try and attack this spot. It's nice day in Washington. A little battle of the what do they call it? I always forget what they call that area. But just down the road from each other. I like Baltimore a lot in this spot. And again, going to be expensive, but definitely a stack I think worth getting to. There's a lot of them today on this slate though, so you don't have to just go with whatever the chalky ones are or anything. There's a lot of good options. Savale and Flexen, anybody who's facing the White Sox, including Aaron Savale, even at a high price, has to be in play no matter what. Not my first thought to play Aaron Savale on a slate with some reasonable pitching options, but hey, it's the White Sox and it's in Tampa Bay and in a bad hitter's park, et cetera. Just a good seems like a good time to attack them. What's interesting is you have this big total for Tampa Bay, and I don't think anybody's playing them because they're a very hard tech team to stack. Not anybody's playing. They're getting some ownership, but you can see Goldie's ownership, which I'm going to bring to the front. You guys can all do that, and I'll just pop it over there because Goldie's ownership, SaberSim is amazing. They're the best projections out there for what they do. Sheets is, I would say, I would trust to try to win GPPs the most, and Goldie has the most accurate sense of sort of what the actual ownership would be and what the actual projections probably should be. So we have some really good offerings here at TrueDFS, and we have some free trials. So I would encourage you guys to check it out. All the SaberSim information, all of Goldie's stuff, all of my content, all of Sheets' projections, all of Brandon Cruz and NASCAR, and he does a lot of showdown stuff for NBA as well. We also have DFS Chan for League of Legends. A lot of great stuff that we're offering at just basically the similar price that SaberSim is. So I would encourage you guys to try and join us if you have the chance, and certainly at least check it out while we have the free trials going. All right. With that said, so Tampa Bay definitely on the list of teams to consider today, along with a bunch of others. I have, again, all of these games. I feel like there's reasonable stacking options, so I really am not going to fault you any which route you go. Rodon and Arrighetti. Rodon is definitely on my list. I don't know where I'm going to end up with him on the end of the day. He's sort of in my Bradish category. It is Houston. This is not an intimidating offense. We mentioned they don't strike out against righties. Double check my lefty stats, and I'll have a little more of that later today. But yeah, Rodon's got to be in play. Goldie's got him at 12% ownership. This is Goldie's ownership, by the way, not an overall projection. And at the same time, the Yankees have to be in play as a stack, and another low-owned Yankee stack to win all the money. Sounds good to me, man. I'm in on this. Especially look, you see the ownerships here. Nothing really too daunting. I like the idea of getting the Yankees. We saw them explode last night. Yeah, probably not going to happen the exact same way again, but I'm kind of in on this. So I'm going to get into. I'm just going to do it sort by ownership here. Yeah, you see nobody getting above 10% at Volpe. I think this is another really good stack, and it's just going to be about weighing which ones you like the best. Houston historically with great relief pitching and stuff, but it's been just a miserable start for Houston. And we got to start examining the fact that this is probably not the same team. Chris Sale and Nick Pivetta. Sale is obviously going to be the chalky one on this slate against Boston. I understand it. I initially, before I looked at how much I liked all these other stacks, I kind of liked the idea of getting to Boston a little bit. And I still don't mind them as one-offs. Connor Wong especially. I don't mind taking bats against Sale. I don't think I want a full stack, but I certainly don't mind a few bats. And then, of course, bearing the lead here that Atlanta against Pivetta, it's a very good matchup for the way that Atlanta plays, and you're going to have low ownership. Pavetta's a good pitcher. It really depends on if he doesn't bring his best stuff, though, this is a team that can make him pay. Love Atlanta when they're at home. So definitely have heavy interest in Atlanta tonight at lower ownership. Again, just a hard stack to get in price-wise. And Sale, I've got to decide what to do with. I'm still up in the air on him personally, what I want to do today. All right. Here's where we have the pitchers that I am the most okay with on the slate. And, again, Paddock, it feels weird because it seems like every time out there he has a great matchup or at least a great potential matchup. And Kirby against this Minnesota team is going to be very hard for me to say no to. So those are my two guys I will put the priority tags on right now as far as pitching goes, which is going to mean I don't get to the bats, except for the fact that I would note if you're not going to play Paddock, I think getting some Seattle makes sense. The problem is we have so many of these great stacks. How am I going to tell you to stack this one in this situation? What are their odds of being the optimal? I think pretty small, but you're also seeing it reflected in the ownership. So I think you can definitely take some shots on Seattle today. Not getting to any Minnesota myself, and even Seattle is just a fringy play because we've got all this other stuff. So I mentioned all the stacks we have available on this slate. That's going to basically mean, well, first of all, it's ugly hitting weather, 11-mile-an-hour winds blowing in from left center. It's 50 some odd degrees in Colorado today. I don't fear either of these pitchers. I think that it's interesting that Jordan Hicks is definitely going to have some ownership here today. And maybe with this hitting weather, I get on board with that. So I actually am open to the idea of the Jordan Hicks. I would, in general, always want to stack against Peter Lambert and the Rockies bullpen. But they're not getting as much ownership today because the weather's so bad for hitting. I would try to keep it to lefties here. But I definitely have some interest in the San Francisco lefties. I'm not getting to Colorado, but I have interest in the San Francisco lefties for sure here. And I don't mind going, well overweight on the on San Francisco. I'm sorry, well overweight if the ownerships really stay like this. Initially, the plan was, okay, just fade Coors because there's so many great spots. And I still think that I probably will, but just throwing it out there that they're going to be lower owned than usual today. So the way I've got it is Baltimore, number 1, Cincinnati, Arizona, both sides of that game, probably 2 and 2A. Then I have Atlanta, New York, Tampa Bay, San Francisco, and a mini Boston. That's the way I'm looking at this slate. Kirby, Paddock, Sale, Savale, Bradish, Rodon, Hicks in that order. That's what I've got for my first look. I'll have a lot more at 6 Eastern when I have a little bit more figured out. Let's go, Depot. Hope good luck to you. Hope you knock it out of the park. Not I guess punning was not intended, but it sounded like it was intended. So take it what you will. Anyway, good luck to everybody today. I hope you guys all crush it. I'm about to record a video with sheets for the golf slate. Pretty pumped. You guys know I love playing me some golf, and hopefully we take down some stuff in the morning slate. So good luck to everybody.